Greetings and good morning from Illinois, people. We're changing things up this year. We got some new properties we're going to be hunting in Illinois, and today we are going to join the owner of those properties to do some shed hunting. It's Shed Rally 2022, and so we're going to spend the day out picking up some big sheds. We got the Can-Am behind us, so maybe we get out, we drive around with that a little bit, cover some ground. Stay tuned. Only God knows what we're going to find today. All right, guys, we made it down to one of the farms that we're gonna be shed hunting today. We got some green plots down in the back here. These are just little like staging plots out before the big destination food source. Conditions aren't great for shed hunting. We got some fresh snow, we got a little bit of sun, but we're in a target-rich environment for big sheds. So my hopes are pretty high that we're still gonna get our hands on some pretty decent bone today. And who knows, maybe pick up a booner. That'd be nice, right? It's always the spikes that make those rubs. Pro tip. It's definitely a stick, but I thought it was a shed. Right? Huh? Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Look at this stick! That's how the day's going so far, folks. It's been a rough start, but we're gonna keep grinding. That was clickbait if I've ever seen any. Probably an 8-year-old on his downside, if I had to guess. You know, probably was a 200-inch deer a couple years ago, but now, you know, it's out of the gene pool. Take a friend that would say that. We all know that guy. Well, guys, we didn't have ideal conditions at all to find sheds today, and a little bit of snow and sunny, and we drove through this spot, how many times? 2 or 3, and we're like, there's no sheds here. Like, this food plot, there's nothing in it. Driving in the Can-Am, and we stop and we're like, let's bake in the sun a little bit. I said, Scott, we're gonna go power scout through all this timber. And I look within 15 to 20 yards of where like we said the sheds are probably right there in this little honey hole, and they're there. There's sheds there. Big old fork, big 6. Everybody loves a big 6. Oh yeah. Now that's cool. That is cool. That makes me feel like we weren't complete failures today. And we're probably gonna have to go back through all this again, just because that little bit of snow. I mean, everybody talks about like the perfect shed conditions, guys, and when to find sheds and things like that. And they talk about those gloomy, wet days. We just got fresh snow yesterday. So like, I mean, not that, you know, obviously it sticks out above the ground, but like that color, the color's similar. And if you're cruising by, you're not gonna see it. And we got sunny days. You can see the sun in my eyes right now. So that just goes to show you how important the right conditions are. The snow melted off this piece, and we just found 2 sheds that, I hate to say it, we drove within 5 to 10 yards of twice already. So let's go pick up this other one. I'm embarrassed to say how close to this shed we drove, guys. You're gonna see the trail. Oh my goodness. Maybe they just came out here, Scott. Maybe they just came out here and they just dropped these now. 2 different deer for sure. So both left sides, but that just goes to show you guys, if you don't have good conditions, double check, triple check your spots, because clearly we missed them the first time around. Look where the UTV is, guys. Look where we parked. I'm not lying to you. Okay, there was a shed right there. There was a shed right there. And I was just telling Scott, like, a couple hours ago, I was like, yeah, when I was in Kentucky, I found a real nice one hanging in a tree. I think we just found the other side to that big 6 hanging in a tree. It is another side, but it's not a 6 on this side. It does look similar sized. I mean, not giant by any means, but similar sized mass. Scott and I were just talking about this. I mean, if you look right here, well, it's hard to tell, but there's a really good trail coming out here. And this little bit higher ground, sometimes for finding sheds, is what gets the sun. So the deer want to spend a little more time in it late in the season. And just in general, I mean, we're in a really large food source as well, too. So, I mean, food's the name of the game, and or the buffer strips running around the food, in the transitions all the way back to the bedding. Those are the areas that you should be checking for good sized sheds. But you just really got to keep going over these spots. I can't stress it enough, like that little bit of snow that we got was enough to just throw us for a loop. And now we're just going back over the same stuff twice, and we're finding sheds. So go ahead and double check your spots, guys. Wait for the snow to melt to a certain extent, and you're probably gonna have a lot more luck. And you're probably gonna lie to yourself and say, oh, those sheds weren't there when we went the first time. Well, they were there, just like these. Well, guys, that's a wrap on the day. First and foremost, thank you to Jack for having us down to some of his property and, you know, picking up some sheds. But that shit, it was just hard today, guys, with the amount of snow. Like, we literally walked by all those sheds 2 to 3 times before we actually were able to pick them up. So this is kind of the beginning chapter of what's to come down in Illinois, though. This year, I'm going to do a lot more hunting down in Illinois. Killed a lot of good deer in a lot of good places. But let's face the facts. Certain parts of Illinois have giant deer. And maybe it's time that I start targeting some of those deer, passing some of those average deer. So keep up to date with what's going on. This is the beginning. This is almost chapter 1 of Illinois. And then also, I guess we can count this as my shed rally of 2022. So I don't get out much. Got a lot of client visits. This will be my only day this year. So better than nothing at all. That's shed rally 2022.